So many people feel that successful people got lucky. And what do you think is the role of luck in life? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Uh, and nobody is judging anyone. Okay, nobody is judging anyone for their views. What do you think is the role of luck in life?
5%.
I would say
Another
75%.
question. 5%.
No, I'm not saying asking
All.
about percentage necessarily, because somebody's for some people's, I'm not specifically asking about percentage. I'm just saying, what do you think is the role? I mean, does it play a role? Does it not play a role? Something more descriptive, if you want.
It
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 does, it
plays
does.
it plays a role, but it depends that if the person who are lucky, he should be prepared for that thing at the same time. Because the luck comes, if the opportunity comes in the luck way, if he's not prepared also, he will not be able to achieve in any department which he is in. So luck is important, but you should be prepared at the same time for the thing you're looking forward to achieve.
Hmm.
Agree with Abhinav, sir.
Yeah. Anyone else? You want to?
Effort,
Anubhav sir? Yeah.
effort matters a lot. Sorry,
Yeah.
ma'am, Sarah, ma'am. Effort matters
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot.
please. Harish,
We need
please.
to put our effort. Luck is a secondary part, what I believe is. At least we need to reach our goal, what we are deserving, but we are aiming actually. Then only luck matters a lot. If ideally sitting at home, we feel that my luck is good and we will be achieving a goal, that I don't believe, as per my
I
opinion.
can add with an example to this. Suppose you are lucky in the school field only. You are lucky and you have entered into the final negotiation part, or finally you got some appointment with some person who will take a great decision, you will get a great deal. But you're not prepared at time with your product, you don't have the knowledge of that product, you don't know how to negotiate for that. You don't have anything over there, then luck will not help you at that time also. You might reach that point, but come back with a zero result over there.
I would like
Sir, I,
to.
I, I want
Okay.
to add one point here. Shishir is said, luck is more about the impulsive behavior of an individual. Okay, so it more relates with impulse that we carry. So whenever we are dealing with someone, and in our sales life, it does matter that impulse should be coming up at the right time. That is why luck does matter in sales job, which I feel so.
I would like to make a point here.
Anubhav sir?
Anubhav, yeah, Sarah ma'am, please go.
No, Vivek, who was speaking?
Harsh.
Vivek?
Sarah, you continue.
Yeah,
After
Sarah, you can
you, I will
continue. You
speak.
please,
can
please.
continue.
No,
Vivek.
ladies first. You continue. After that, I'll speak.
Yeah, thank you, Vivek. Anubhav, with respect to sales, shall I make a generalized
General,
statement here?
this is for overall. What do you think is the role of
Yeah,
luck in life?
okay, fine. So, I am aware of certain people who have been very lucky in their professional life and personal life. And let me take it as a, in the professional life, I knew people who even had never had a basic graduation degree. They have rose to heights just because of sheer luck. They didn't even have basic graduation certificate, final degree certificate, but somehow or the other, they have climbed the ladders and they are in very responsible positions. So, taking my own example, like I'm a very passionate music lover. I have been trained in music, but some or the other, I was always not getting closer to make music shine for me as a fame. Luck never favored me. I either, something would happen and I would just miss the recording, or something would happen from childhood. I was very much interested in singing, but luck never favored me. So when we are talking, definitely, as Harish said, our efforts also has to be there. And I feel coming from a small village town in Gandhidham, Gujarat, we didn't, and years back, singing was not considered as a profession to be taken those days. But now, if you see, there are a lot of reality shows. So there is a platform, but I was not lucky enough to get that platform. So I feel luck does play a role, but efforts has to come in. It goes hand in hand. Without luck, I don't think it is a smooth sail. So luck
Okay.
does play a role. in whatever we do.
Okay. Yeah.
That's
Sarah
Others.
ma'am,
my
there,
perception.
Sarah ma'am, there are several ways. If you want to fulfill your dreams, you can even go right now also.
Oh, thank you, Harish. I will take all the contacts from you. Definitely.
See, the
I
point
don't
that
believe.
I
Thank you.
wanted
Thank you.
to, the point that I wanted to make is that to become lucky, like I believe that it is a factor of like preparation or the opportunity should meet. See, even though if you can become lucky, you can get a lot of opportunities, but if you are not prepared, you will not be able to grab it. So I
Correct.
believe that to become lucky, it is a factor of preparation and opportunities should also be there to become lucky. So that is what I feel.
Okay,
Anubhav.
what I really feel is that yes, definitely luck plays a role in your life. But again, a person should always know how to mold the things in your favor, right? With luck, you may hit a few quick success, but for a consistent and a steady, successful life, you need to go to the basics. You need to do the right things. You need to work really hard. Like take for example, if you hit a lottery or a jackpot, you may make some easy cash easily, but like for how long are you going to carry that kind of a lifestyle if you are not working really hard to preserve it for yourself? So that's my opinion on the role of luck in your life.
You know who was speaking right now?
Harsh.
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 So I think he's made a good point. Again, I'm not making any opinion. I'm not making any opinions right now. I'm just saying Harsh has made a good point that a lot of lottery winners, if they haven't actually, I think there's something in the background going on. But anyway, if you
No,
if
it's not sound, yeah.
even if you win the lottery, but you haven't actually trained yourself to work hard, you haven't actually trained yourself to manage the money. Chances are after some years you will again end up where you were. So have you heard? Has anybody heard of the study that a lot of maximum lottery winners they actually end up to becoming to the same financial position before winning the lottery. They end up there after a few years.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah,
So
yeah. Yes, yes.
why do you think that is happening?
Recent events on social media, a person, the video might get viral, they might be very famous for a fraction of days. And then after that, they come back to the same position. I don't want to name any of those people, but everyone knows one or the other person who have got the fame and then came back to the rags.
Many persons are there, not on the single one or two. Many persons are there, like in that.
Anubhav,
Hmm.
uh, with this question, I just wanted to raise another question, add on that another question. By luck, we can get something and we can praise that, okay, thanks God, or thanks someone, by luckily we got it. If unluck is leads to some situations, to whom we blame?
Right. No. So that's what I. Can you again repeat your thing? You were
My
saying that if
Anubhav, voice issue, voice issue.
I'll tell you actually what usually happens. Mostly what I've seen is when people get lucky, they say, I am not lucky, it happened because of my hard work. But when they get unlucky, they say, I am unlucky. Then at
no,
that time they
that's why I'm saying that I have only 0% on luck. I don't believe in luck and unluck these things, because someone has says me in my matriculation time that ki unlucky situation or unluck is a leads to that your previous mistake.
I didn't get you. I didn't understand
That
your question.
means
पुराने कर्मों
someone
का
has,
फल.
yeah,
Hmm.
believe in karma, not luck.
Okay,
Karma,
Puranic karma.
karma.
okay.
What I
That's
believe
fine.
is
Uh-huh.
it's a human tendency actually, what I have seen. If we gain something, that was my good luck. If
Correct.
we lose something, we predict that मेरा किस्मत ही खराब था.
Right. They don't blame on
It's a
an
human tendency. You
individual.
cannot blame
No,
actually
actually,
luck or
what they
something
do is
else.
when they get something good, they say it's because of my own hard work,
Yes.
because of my own efforts.
Right.
But when something goes wrong, then they say ki God hates me or my kismat was bad or whatever it is. So anyway, again, not passing an opinion. So others, any other opinions on this? What do you think is the role of luck in life? Let me again before this, let me ask a philosophical question. Steve Jobs, biggest, most, one of the richest men in the world, and he also unfortunately died of pancreatic cancer. This is, I mean, all the money in the world could not save him. So, do you think he was lucky or was he unlucky?
Because of his own fault. He is eating only the fruits.
come on. Now we're getting into cancer debate. What causes cancer?
But then Anubhavji, this is a very high high mattered question, because it is talking about life and death. Because Michael Jackson had every minute of his being monitored by doctors, whatever food he eats, how he sleeps, so that he wanted to live long. Every single moment of his life
150
was being
years.
monitored.
He was targeting 150 years of life.
Huh. Yeah. Like, because this is a very big question, life
Yes,
and death, nobody can predict. We
correct.
all are sitting here, we don't know what happens the next moment. So that's a big question to answer. Steve Jobs or whatever happened, there are people who, because of their habits, they don't live long. There are people who have no habits, they just leave the world. So that is a very
That is luck. That is
ambiguous
luck.
Anubhav,
question. Yeah.
Let's
Anubhav,
say
That
in
is luck.
Nicholas,
my
Anubhav,
opinion,
like
love is
Nicholas Tesla. I mean, he was more genius than Edison.
Hmm.
Edison was totally promoting DC, direct current, and he was
Sure.
totally promoting AC. But he was failed. I mean, I think this is only because of luck. He was not favored by luck. Otherwise, now the future is AC. Nobody depend on DC. But that time, his luck doesn't favor her. That's why Tesla doesn't enjoy his success.
Debatable, because the influence of Edison was so high in British society at that time, no, that nobody was listening to Mr. Tesla. When he
No,
talked
that
about,
no, no,
application of lucifer's.
that was purely luck. Edison was a he was very cunning businessman. If you know the history, he was very cunning
And if
businessman.
you see the
Point
number of
is,
patents he have on date on his name, no other inventor have that many patents on his name.
obviously, most of the inventions he
Anubhav.
didn't make, but he just get the patent, and that's why the luck plays a role. I mean, I can't deny that luck
What
doesn't
time
plays a
is
role.
luck
Luck
is
plays a
something,
role.
it places you somewhere on the right time, in the right place. So
Exactly.
it's like that, yeah.
Yes.
So when you build
And
a
your preparation is to be the right person at the right place and the right time.
Yes.
Because you also have to be the right person.
If you are the right place at the right time and right person, you will nail the things. That is the preparation. But at the right place at the right time, that is the part of
That
luck only. That
sure.
is the part of luck.
Okay.
I think
So
that's what
Anubhav, can you hear
Vivek
me?
was indicating. That was what Vivek was indicating. Preparedness and the opportunities, that is what, you, even if you have a luck, if you're not prepared to grab that opportunity, then luck doesn't matter. So I think Vivek had a point there when he was saying about it.
yeah, somebody else was saying something right now.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was me, Vishwesh Tyagi.
Yeah, Vishwesh.
See, for me, luck is something like the way we were discussing earlier. When the market is odd, you have to increase your efforts. So when luck is on your side, even the minimal efforts will give you best results. When luck is not on your side, no matter what efforts you put in, they go waste. So you cannot quantify what percentage of efforts are going waste or that stuff. But I've personally felt in my life sometimes when we say we are lucky, I don't know whether what it was, but sometimes when luck is on your side, no matter you're doing wrong things, everything falls in your favor. You know you're doing wrong things. You know you did not put in that much of efforts, even then you get results. Sometimes it happens other way around. So it's a combination of everything. But you cannot only dependent on your luck. Luck works only when you put in efforts. Without efforts, luck will also not favor you.
that's right.
In
But
fact,
that is my
Anubhav,
personal
you are
opinion.
in fact,
contradicting two
Anubhav
things,
sir,
sir.
Yeah.
सर
Tell me.
आपने बोला कि अगर समय सही नहीं हो तो आप कितना भी एफर्ट डालो तो वो नहीं होगा तो
नहीं,
दैट इज लक
मैं कह रहा हूँ जब समय सही नहीं होता
हाँ
तो आप 200 एफर्ट्स डालने के बाद भी आपको 25% रिजल्ट मिलता है। जब
ओके
समय सही होता है तो 50% एफर्ट डालने के बाद भी आपको 200% रिजल्ट मिलता है।
तो वो समय का बात है सर या लक का बात है
सर समय और लक दोनों साथ ही
समय
चलते
और
हैं।
लक एक ही चीज है भाई,
English
लक ही
है,
आपका सब
luck is
बदलता है।
English.
तो फिर वो 7.5 ही दिखा के निकलना चाहिए फिर
But
से
one more thing I want to add is, guys, Vishwesh, as you correctly said, Vishwesh, as you correctly said, you are right there. But everybody, if you remember, I also talked about something called the compound effect in one of the earlier sessions, where what happens is that many times the
यस
efforts that you put in today during the recession period, they will not lead to results today. But even if we put in the efforts today and we are increasing our visibility in front of the prospects, and the prospect knows who we are, and the prospect knows that we have not gone out of business, and the prospect keeps getting the contents and marketing and keeps keep getting in, keep staying in touch with us, what is going to happen is that when the good times come, when acha period aega, then the first person they will remember is going to be us. So contradictory things
So
keep
that is
happening.
That
preparedness.
acha
You
period
know,
and bura
preparedness.
period is only luck.
Yes.
That is only luck.
Right.
Anubhavji,
Chaliye, yeah.
for example, in pandemic, what happened? I knew few people who started lot of ventures just before pandemic. So suddenly
This
this
Zoom that we're
pandemic
talking on the
came
same
and
example, no? Zoom only, yeah, Zoom become big only in pandemic. It existed before also.
You can I mean let when Sarah can talk first and then you can add to that.
no issues, Mohammed. No worries. So let me. Anubhavji, I just wanted to make a point here. So how would we define that? Okay, I planned everything. I put money into it, and suddenly, a pandemic came. Complete. This I'm talking about one of my very close friend who invested in three, beauty salons and put lot of money into it completely. And many people know beauty salons were affected a lot. So for months it was locked down, and the person had taken loans to, so she immediately said, "See, it's such a bad luck for me that this happened." But then I had to tell her it has happened for everybody. Okay, so how would we define such things?
I would say, if you ask me personally, it's a combination of luck, but it's also a combination of having done the wrong things. I'll tell you why. Now, people might disagree with me here. Before we go on, let me just answer your the example that you talked about. It is luck because she started the business right before the pandemic, and we all know how difficult it is to start businesses in the first place. Anybody who started a wish, because you have been a fellow businessman earlier, so anybody who's actually done business in the past knows how difficult it is. But the first 2 or 3 years are even more difficult. The first 2 or 3 years में क्या होता है कि you're trying to find a business model. We are not like NTAB, or we are not like a big company or any one who has a predictable profitable model right now. A startup has no business model. They have no way to actually learn how to make money. And if something wrong happens in the first 1 or 2 or 3 years, the chances are they're going to shut down. But I'll tell you where she went wrong with the planning. She took a loan on an untested business idea. There is where she went wrong in her planning. You never take a loan on an untested business idea. You only take loans when the business idea is proven. You know that the cash flow is predictable. Then you may take a loan. But on an unproven new business idea, you might say, okay, salons are not a new business idea. But for her, if she's a startup, then for her a salon is a new business idea. And if you're doing
But
something new on a loan, yeah.
Anubhav, she was not aware that the COVID will come. No?
Obviously, but saloon, like a beauty saloon, like if the scale Sarah was talking, let's say, I mean, I don't know the scale which Sarah is talking, but I guess it should be above a medium startup. I guess I'm just
No, I
assuming.
would even add to this that this person is already employed in a bank in a very senior position. So she took this investment in her husband's name. So there was a capital in place. Okay, she's already working in a very senior position, and you cannot have dual employment, dual income when you're working. So she had taken it in her husband's name, licensed. But suddenly this COVID happened. Nobody, see, many of us, you and me, where we were affected one way or the other because of COVID. Okay. So my question is very simple here, Anubhavji. What if when she told me I'm so unlucky? Of course, I had told her that everybody is unlucky for that matter, because this affected the whole world. It is not only you and me. So,
I'll tell you why. Again,
basically,
let me see, Sarah.
uh,
Here's the thing.
uh,
Here's the thing.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
anybody is the first biggest mistake that she did. See, COVID is not in her hands. Starting a business just before it, COVID not in her hands. Complete luck. That is complete luck. What was in her hand was not to take. See, just because you've done 20 years of work as an employee does not mean that you know everything about business. Anybody who knows business, in the beginning, they have to basically conserve your capital. You cannot take, and if you take a loan on an untested business idea, we already know that 90% of businesses fail, but 100% of the times you have to pay the loan. Are you getting me? 90% of business ideas fail, 95% of business ideas fail but 100% of times you have to pay the loan back. So where she went wrong was she took a loan to start her venture. She made it more capital intensive. Perhaps she might have even bought stuff instead of renting it. Perhaps she might have gone the saloon at the most expensive of areas. There she might have gone wrong. So what I'm saying is that when COVID hit, if she had done her research properly, her losses would have been limited. She would not have been burdened by the loans. Anyway,
Yeah.
new startup starting before the pandemic, chances are 90%, 98% chances are that the new startup is going to shut down because of the COVID pandemic that happened. And yours a new company, new brick and mortar company, not even a tech company. Where she went wrong was she did not do her financial planning properly. She should have never taken a loan on an untested business idea, because in the best of times, 90% of businesses fail, but 100% of the times you have to pay something on the loan. So, like giving my example, I just want to say that I am virtually debt free. So for me, it was not an issue. But did income stop? Did money coming in stop? Of course, it happened. There were many times, there were 6 months that I had no income, but I had savings for 4 or 5 years. I had no debt. So for me, it doesn't make a difference. You are planning. This is planning. I cannot control whether the income comes in next month or not, but I can make myself save for the next 3 or 4 years through my savings, through my investments, and by being debt free. So, yeah, planning. This is what I'm talking about. Guys, are you getting me?
But again, the pandemic was not bad for everyone. There are people who made millions out of it.
Absolutely, agreed. See, but we are not in the tech field. I mean, at least I am not in the tech field. For us, for motivational speakers, we all used to do events, and everything was stopped. And only now are people actually, opening up to the idea of doing paid motivational seminars. At that time, it was all free webinars. Sab free mein karo. So you can understand. Anyway, actually, let's move on. Let's move on to what exactly the subject, the area of this topic is. Basically, lottery winners. The reason they go back to being the way they were was that they only relied on luck, but they never relied on learning. In order to get lucky in a long term way, you have to also learn a lot along the way. At least all of you agree on that, right?
Yes.
Because if you're not learning along the way, आज आपको 50 लाख 1 करोड़ रुपए दे दिया जाएगा, but if you don't know how to manage the money, guaranteed in 5 years you're going to lose that money. But if you know how to manage that money, you will then either invest it in a predictable business, or you are going to invest it in somewhere, whatever it is, you would know what to do with that. Why do you think all these people, let me again, it's a little debatable thing. Why do you think all these people in the businessman community, the Banya community, Marwadi community, why do you think they are rich? There are two reasons. दो तीन चीजें होती हैं. One is the luck, that they are born, generally they are born wealthy. Do you agree? At least in the Marwadi community, generally they are born wealthy, number one. But it's not about just being born wealthy, but they're also being giving lessons from the very beginning on how to manage and multiply that money.
Collective intelligence.
So it's not that the caste itself is more talented at managing money. It's just that the parents give them the right lessons to learn and to manage money.
Anubhav, I have something to tell.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, tell me.
See, there is a famous quote by Shakespeare. Some are born
By?
great.
What by?
Shakespeare.
Okay.
Little louder, please.
Some are born greatness.
Naveen, you're not
Yeah.
much audible.
So there is a quote by Shakespeare where he says in his book only, some are born greatness, some achieve greatness, some become greatness, some are greatness thrusted upon them.
Trust upon them, yes.
So there are people who are born greatness, who achieve greatness, who are become greatness, and trusted upon them. So the first and fourth.
Okay, sure. Again, yeah, you're right. But ultimately, you are absolutely right. So that is the fact. So, but then again, it comes to many times there are things that are personal choices also. Like one can argue, why did Anil Ambani go bankrupt, but Mukesh Ambani is the richest person in the world? Anil Ambani is not bankrupt as such. I mean, वो bankrupt तो बस It's on paper.
He was
Everybody knows.
saved. Yes, he was
Uh-huh.
saved by his brother.
He's not. He was not actually. He's not actually really bankrupt. But the point is, what happened to Anil Ambani, and why did Mukesh Ambani? Why did that not happen to Mukesh Ambani? So one could say luck, but one or the somewhere or the other, it's also a lot of decision making, wrong decision making involved. So for like let's say Vijay Mallya, why do you think, despite being one of the greatest businessmen, even though he was in a liquor business, he was making a lot of money, and now he's basically running from the Indian government in UK? Do you think it's luck, or do you?
Even Amitabh Bachchan, he went bankrupt when he started ABCL.
Yes,
Now again, he's back in the
after
picture.
Kaun Banega Crorepati, yes.
Before that, he got that film Mohabbatein.
Yes,
After a long gap,
yes.
then
Sure.
he got Kaun Banega Crorepati. Before
Sure.
that, his house was about to be get sold for recovering the money.
But you see, the difference between Amitabh Bachchan and Vijay Mallya is, first of all, yes, Amitabh Bachchan, see, even with the amount of debt that Amitabh Bachchan had, it was still a debt that eventually he was able to pay with his movies. But Vijay Mallya cannot repay 35,000 crores or whatever amount it is. He is now beyond that, recovery phase. Because the amount of money that Vijay Mallya took for running his company, now again giving an example, now he starts his company, the company has a massive, there's a joke that if you want to become a millionaire, then start out as a billionaire and then start an airline. This is exactly what Vijay Mallya did. This is a running joke that if you want to become a millionaire, then start out as a billionaire, but then start an airline company. This is actually a running joke involved. And Richard Branson actually made this joke, and he barely managed to survive. But Vijay Mallya actually got trapped in this. No, my point is, now if you start a company and it is completely losing money, and it's taken on lots of debt, lots and lots of debt. So do you not think that somewhere or the other, if Vijay Mallya had realized his losses, that he's made a wrong call and he exited the business early, do you not think that he would not be as unlucky as he is today?
Yes, he could have saved.
He could have exited the wrong business. The problem is because he did not exit. So kahin na kahin dekhiye, unluckiness is definitely a part of it is not under our control, absolutely, but a lot of it is has also got to do with our learnings and whether we learn or not, or whether we accept mistakes or not. Anyway, again coming to example, we talk about there are many people there's a lot of talk about nepotism right now in the movie industry, and yes, absolutely, there is nepotism. People are getting easy launches. But do you also not agree that ultimately, and absolutely, compared to an average person, these so-called nepo kids are much luckier for sure. But do you also not agree that in the long run, even the only talented the only nepotistic kids who are succeeding are the ones who are also professional, who are also putting in the efforts? Do you agree?
Agree, sir.
So I'm not saying they're not lucky. Compared to the average person, they are 100 times lucky. But even for a Ranbir Kapoor or for an Alia Bhatt, there are hundreds of people who are star kids, but they have not succeeded. So you might get lucky once with the launch, you might get lucky twice, but no long-term luck is possible without long-term effort. Just a second. Can you see the entire screen properly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Remember that luck exists, but it can be significantly controlled through your efforts or your decisions. So how do you generally, not always, but generally avoid bad luck in health? Because कुछ health conditions तो आपके हाथ में नहीं होती. How do you generally avoid bad luck in health?
So we control the things from starting, like good effort, good eating habit, good physical activities habit, and all that. If we continue in a continuous way in that effort, the health will be better in the older days also.
It's about
But
lifestyle. Disciplined
Not
but
lifestyle.
some health,
necessarily.
issue is apart from our control. But with good diet and good physical activities and all, we can control our health part also.
अभी ना गारंटी होती है क्या उस चीज की कि अच्छी डाइट और एक्सरसाइज
Apart
करो?
from
apart from
few things I
guarantee
told
नहीं
you,
होती,
sir.
guarantee नहीं
Apart
होती.
from
वही
few
बोल रहा
things I told you, sir. Apart from few things I told
Which
you.
means we all agree and we've all faced it at some level also, that some things are genetic, some things are not under our control, some things are accidental. But beyond that, we're
Sir,
talking about beyond.
sir, it's like talking about general thing. If you're physically active, you're eating good. Sir, this is like मतलब अगर आप genetic में ही सर आपके पास apparently आपको मिल गया sugar and all diabetes तो कोई control ही नहीं है फिर सर. But at least फिर भी diabetes होने के बाद भी अगर normally good diet and health रखे तो थोड़ा maintain कर सकते हैं in that direction. But something we
I
can't.
think Anuj, I think it is about maintaining a disciplined lifestyle. If you maintain a disciplined lifestyle, you can avoid your bad luck with health. Generally
Anubhavji,
speaking.
Anubhavji, I would like to make a point here. This is my perception. The very fact, the word in these, just could you just show, yeah. When a question is asked, how do you generally avoid bad luck in health? I would frame this question in how do you generally avoid bad health? Because for me, my perception here is with regards to health, uh, luck. I mean, it is the bad health, so that we can avoid bad luck in health.
No,
I'm not able
there
to
is a lot
relate.
of bad health. A lot of people get cancer without doing anything.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. But I'm again coming back to what I'm saying is some people get heart, they're healthy today, tomorrow they get heart attacks. So in that sense, I was talking about bad luck. And when they get heart attacks, then they die. So that's what I was talking about, bad luck. See, luck hota hai, ye to hai, we all agree. But I'm saying generally, how can we avoid bad luck? How can we reduce our probabilities? How can we reduce the possibility and probability of being unhealthy in in our life? So how do you do that? I think Abhinav, you were right. Generally, good habits, good exercise, staying a discipline. Generally speaking, it will work. Of course, not in all cases, but generally speaking, this is a pretty good, what to say, uh,
Yeah,
decision.
that's fair enough. Yeah.
So here what has happened is you have controlled your bad luck through your what? Through your actions. I'm going to tell you, there are many people in my in my wife's side of the family who have diabetes, but her father and her brother have not gotten diabetes because of the eating habits and the exercise habits that they have. So they were blessed with the bad luck, or what to say, cursed with bad luck. But somehow through their diet and through their exercise, they managed to avoid diabetes, and what was pretty much guaranteed to happen in that particular situation. So anyway, chaliye, how do you generally avoid bad luck in matters of money? Bataiye. Proper investment in good
Stay away from Prince of Persia or Prince of Nigeria.
Staying away from wrong practices in life.
What else?
Become
How
an
can you
intelligent
generally avoid
investor.
investment at right time?
Yeah,
See,
become an
even
intelligent investor.
investment is not. मैं आपको basic चीजें बता देता हूँ. Save money, okay? As far as possible. I'm not saying हमेशा possible होता है. As far as possible, avoid getting into debt, and at least never get into debt for something that depreciates in value. घर के लिए जा रहे हो तो वो बात अलग है. But most of the times we are seeing people who are taking loans to buy an iPhone. So उन्होंने तो शुरुआत ही they have begun on the wrong note, and this starts with an iPhone and it ends with buying a very expensive car that they know they cannot afford, and then they or starting a business on an untested idea, although it's technically an asset. Business is technically an asset, but when you do not do any research before investing your money, you are inviting bad luck. Investing is important, but when you do not do any research before investing your money, you are inviting bad luck. अगर आपने plot खरीद लिया without research as to who really owns the plot, so then are you unlucky, or did you make the wrong decisions?
Made the wrong decision.
You made the wrong decisions. If you invest in crypto without even understanding if crypto has any value, or if you invest in stocks without understanding why you are investing in them, you're investing anywhere without doing the research. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but without research, अगर आप किसी चीज में invest कर रहे हो, you don't even know whether why something is happening. Many times there are scams. Many people get into get rich quick scams and they lose all their money. They hear somewhere that पैसा पैसे से बनता है. They hear that it takes money to make money, but they don't realize that it takes money but also your brain to make money. If you throw money at anything randomly, then whatever money you have is also going to what? Go away. There's a quote which says, when the person with many money meets the person with the experience, what happens? Can anybody complete this quote for me? When a person with money meets a person with experience, what happens? When a person with money meets a person with experience, the person with the experience gets the money, and the person with the money gets an experience. मतलब उसको बेवकूफ बनाया जाता है. Why? Because they have not done the research. And how do you avoid bad luck? By doing research, by learning. So biggest way to avoid bad luck in matters, any matter, is through learning, through improving yourself, through research. I just want to give you, before we end, I just want to give you one little piece of financial advice for everybody. Uh, if you just remember, if you can just remember this, then you will be set for life. Invest like you will live till 100, but buy insurance like you will die tomorrow. Are you getting me what I say?
Yes.
Invest like you will live till 100, but buy insurance as if you're going to die tomorrow. Simple financial advice. This is a contingency plan. Insurance is what? It's a contingency plan. It helps you avoid bad luck. I mean, you are not going to be there, so your luck is gone, but at least your family will not have to face financial bad luck.